The United States government operates a digital toll booth that generates $150 million a year by selling you your own public records. It costs 10 cents a page to read a federal court document. That 10 cents applies even if your name is the defendant, or if your tax dollars paid the judge's salary. A single complex trial docket easily costs thousands of dollars to download. You are paying rent on public property that you already bought.
However, the Administrative Office of the U.S. Courts claims this massive revenue stream merely covers the cost of running the PACER system. You are told that hosting terabytes of legal filings requires expensive infrastructure and constant maintenance. They justify the 10-cent per page fee under the E-Government Act of 2002, arguing that users should fund the database rather than general taxpayers. Millions of lawyers, journalists, and citizens swipe their credit cards daily without questioning this premise. The system functions as a completely accepted, state-sanctioned monopoly over the exact laws and judicial opinions that govern your daily life.
Yet internal audits reveal the actual cost of storing and retrieving a single PDF page is a tiny fraction of a penny. The government uses your PACER fees to fund entirely unrelated courtroom technology projects, flat-screen televisions for juries, and new furniture. A group of nonprofits sued the federal government in 2016 for illegally overcharging the public, uncovering that the judiciary hoarded a surplus of nearly $1 billion. You are not paying for server maintenance or data transmission. You are funding a shadow budget completely hidden from congressional oversight, disguised as a modest administrative fee.
But the most damning secret lies buried in the architecture of the federal bankruptcy courts. Every single one of the 94 bankruptcy courts across the country silently broadcasts a free, public RSS feed containing the exact same docket updates that PACER charges 10 cents a page to read. These feeds push real-time XML data detailing debtor filings, creditor claims, and judicial orders directly to the open web. Anyone with a basic script can scrape thousands of records an hour without ever seeing a paywall. The government purposely hides these URLs deep within obscure technical documentation, ensuring you never realize the data is already flowing freely.
Except this hidden dual system exposes a deliberate strategy of technological illiteracy enforcement. The judiciary relies on the friction of clunky interfaces and hidden endpoints to maintain its $150 million extraction machine. Hedge funds and massive data brokers utilize these free RSS feeds to harvest predictive economic indicators, mapping out corporate collapses before the news cycle catches on. You remain trapped behind the 10-cent paywall, individually funding the system while institutional players siphon the raw data for free. The paywall does not exist to protect the database. The paywall exists to protect the revenue stream from you.
Still, a small collective of rogue archivists and programmers decided to exploit this massive vulnerability. They built an automated pipeline using those obscure bankruptcy RSS feeds to download millions of court documents, immediately uploading them to the Internet Archive. They created a browser extension called Recap that intercepts any document you purchase on PACER and copies it into a free, searchable public database. By crowdsourcing the 10-cent fees and weaponizing the government's own forgotten RSS architecture, they began systematically liberating the entire history of American jurisprudence. The judiciary attempted to block these automated scrapers, only to discover that banning IP addresses violated their own mandate to provide public access to public records. You are witnessing.
Nevertheless, this battle over 10 cents a page reveals the fundamental lie of the digital age. Whoever controls the database controls the law, and pricing you out of the database effectively prices you out of your own civil rights. A democracy cannot function when the rules governing it are hidden behind a paywall that extracts $150 million a year from its citizens. When you cannot afford to read the precedents that could put you in prison or seize your assets, ignorance of the law ceases to be a choice and becomes a manufactured condition.
But the toll booth remains operational, processing credit cards at 10 cents a page while the free RSS feeds pulse quietly in the background. The government continues to sell you the words they use to govern you. The true cost of public records is not measured in server space or administrative overhead. You are simply paying the ransom on your own history. A paywall around the law is just a prison built out of paper.